Hey, what's up, guys? We got another deck profile today. This is based on the I guess the official name for the archetype is like Konami Arcade Classics or whatever. Basically, back in the day, Konami made this a little game called Gradius. It was a flying around shoot 'em up game. It was pretty fucking good. And they made a bunch of cards based on it. Um, and most of the cards have effects like when it destroys something by battle, X happens. And they're all light monsters. Um, but the thing with this, I really like this deck because it's an older archetype and it can still do pretty well with the right support. Ever since United We Stand went to 3, and now that Honest is at fucking 2, I think this deck has a lot of potential. So we're gonna go right into it here. Three Blue Thunder T45s, 1700 attack, 1000 defense. If this card destroys a monster by battle, special summon one Thunder option token. 1500 attack, 1500 defense. This token cannot be attributed for a tribute summon. Um, there are a lot of token spawning things in this deck. It works really well with United We Stand. It just bumps everything up by a bunch. Victory Viper kind of does the same thing. It's got 1200 attack and 1000 defense. It's got a few different effects, though. You can activate one of these effects when it destroys an opponent's monster by battle. You can have it gain 400 attack. You can destroy one face-up spell or trap card, or you can special summon one option token. It always has the same type, attribute, and level attack and defense as this card, which is awesome because if you kill something, you special summon it, it's at 1200. You play a bunch of buffs on Victory Viper, it bumps it up to like 3000 attack. Then the token also gets bumped up to 300 attack. The token's attack and defense are always what Victory Vipers is, no matter what. Even after it's already been put into play, which is really nice. Because you can slap a couple of United We Stands on Victory Viper, kill something, summon a token. They don't have anything else. They don't have any other monsters out. You attack for game. It's awesome. Victory Viper and Blue Thunder are your main dudes in this deck. They're usually the ones that that fight stuff and get the beat down. Lord British is in there because he also spawns tokens. They're not as good as the other ones. He can target and destroy one set card on the field, which is nice. Or he can attack twice, which is also pretty good. So even though Victory Viper and Blue Thunder are your main go-to cards, Lord British is also pretty good. You also have Falchion B. When it destroys something, you can send one machine-type monster with 1200 or less attack from your deck to the graveyard. And its other effect is that if you destroy something by battle, you can special summon one light machine-type monster from your graveyard with 12,000 or less attack. So you kill something, mill it, and then bring it back when you kill something again. This is really useful for deck thinning. It's a machine. It fits well in the archetype. I mean, it just fits well in the rest of the deck. Jade Knight, 1000 attack, 1800 defense. This is a pretty good card. Face-up machine-type monsters you control with 12,000 or less attack cannot be destroyed by the effects of trap cards, so that's nice. I mean, this specific effect doesn't get used very much just because you're always buffing up your guys. But if you get like a bunch of tokens out and you don't have any buffs, you can throw this guy out and just swing for the fences. But the main reason it's in here is that when it's destroyed, you can search your deck for a level 4 light machine type monster and put it into your hand. So it's kind of like a Pyramid Turtle, but for machines, which is nice. So you can go after Blue Thunder, Victory Viper, whatever you want. 3 United We Stands. This is one of the most important cards in the deck. You put it on Victory Viper, Blue Thunder, spawn a bunch of tokens, swing for game. Honest there's no reason for you not to be running 2 Honest in this deck. Again, especially even if you don't have United We Stand out, it's really good because the base attack for the monsters in this deck is not that big. And the tokens it spawns, those can use them too, I do believe. Well, I know the ones from Victory Viper can yeah, because all the tokens they spawn are like the tokens can use it. This is just an all around good card. This is kind of a tech card that I threw in Clockwork Shikigami. Because you can only special summon it if there's only machine type monsters in your or only machine type cards in your graveyard, which I mean is pretty easy to do in this deck. You special summon it. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls and have the attack of that monster become 0, which is really nice because you can kill stuff even without having your buffs, or even if you don't have your buffs. I only run one for obvious reasons. It would kind of clog up the deck a little bit too much, I think. Limited removal. Again, it's kind of like Honest. It just buff everything super big. Compulse to get rid of problem monsters, Xyz, synchros, whatever. Solemn warning just to say no. Bottomless trap. I was gonna say these are the three staples that the deck runs. I mean, I really don't need to explain why they get run. They're just good cards. Ojama Trio. Because it clogs up your opponent's field and it gives you easy targets to activate the effects of all your little space shooters. And even though they summon in defense mode, they still take the damage from the Ojama tokens blowing up. So that's nice. But it also clogs up their field, which is really nice too. It kind of limits their plays a bit. I've really found that to be a little bit more relevant in this format than in others. Because I played this deck in a few formats ago, but it just wasn't as good because United We Stand was at like 2 or 1, Honest was at 1. I think limit removal might have actually been banned. I don't remember. That was a long ass time ago. 2 Veilers gives you limited tuning, gives you limited synchro options, and sometimes again, just like bottomless or just like Solemn, sometimes you just have to say no. Max C, I think, is a little more relevant for this format. Just because everybody's special summoning everything all the time, and it lets you draw a bunch of cards. So I run 1. I mean, it's nice when you can use it. 2 MSTs to get rid of that back row. 2 Forbidden Lances. It can save your dudes. It can lower your opponent's monster's attack. It can lower your opponent's monster's attack just low enough for you to run over them with your with Victory Viper and Thunder or whatever. 2 Pots of Duality. This deck doesn't really special summon that much, but it does make the occasional Xyz play, so I didn't really want to run 3. But this deck is notable for having pretty bad opening hands sometimes, so this helps that out. It lets you get the cards you need. 3 Wiretaps, because this deck can be really big on the OTKs, and you don't want anything messing you up. I ran this with Trap Stun. I've run this with Trap Stun and Dark Bribe as well. But I was gonna say I've run builds that use Trap Stun and Dark Bribe as well. Trap Stun just didn't really seem to work at all, just because they would activate something, I'd activate Trap Stun, and then it'd activate in response to Trap Stun. So everything they activated after Trap Stun wouldn't be negated. So Trap Stun just didn't work very well in this deck. It just didn't. Dark Bribe was actually pretty nice, just because you could shut down spell cards too, but but Dark Bribe lets them draw, so that's not really that great. So I wanted to focus a little bit more on the OTK, so I started running Wiretap, and it's nice. Soul Charge, really good. Really good late game, because you can just bring out all your dudes, slap United We Stand, or a limiter removal, and that's pretty much game. So that's it for the main deck. I think it all flows together relatively well. I wish it had a little bit more draw power, but the pots help out with that enough. It doesn't really go into extra deck plays that much. The most extra deck plays it sees are Cowboy and Cornship, just because this when you're buffing everything a lot, the numbers can get kind of weird, and your opponent ends up having like 1,000 or like 800 or 600 or whatever life left. So you can go into Black Ship of Corn Or so I go into Black Ship of Corn just to finish them off, and same for Cowboy as well. The other stuff is in here just, excuse me, just to give me a little bit more options. Gear is in there for searches. That's pretty nice. Couple honor arcs and Exitons staples. Sky Blaster, I like him. He helps a lot with the face downs. Roach, again, if I think they're gonna go for something big, I can throw out Roach and say no. Armades and Cataster, just for the synchro options off of Effect Veiler. There might be better level 5s to run than this, but I don't know. Abyss Dweller and yeah, Abyss Dweller and Maestroke and Daigusto. I like Daigusto. I didn't think he would work very well in this deck, but I actually got a recommendation from a friend to run him in this, and he works pretty well. He lets you excuse me. Like if you're Blue Thunders or Victory Vipers or anything, if you've run out of those, or if you just need an extra draw, he's really nice for that. So yeah, good plays for this deck that I really like doing are usually I'll have Victory Viper out with either Blue Thunder or Token or something out or some other card. I'll slap United We Stand on Victory Viper. It'll kill a monster, spawn a token, and that token will be at like 4,000 attack, and then you can swing for game. That's the biggest thing with this deck. You swarm out and swing for game with ungodly amounts of attack power due to United We Stand and limiter removal. It just works really well with United We Stand because everything's spawning tokens all the time, and then you have Honest and limiter removal on top of all that, along with some of the little tricks you can pull with Forbidden Lance. But anyway, if you like what you saw and want to keep up with the channel, you can follow my Facebook in the link below. If you like what you see today and want to support me, I do have a PayPal button up on my channel. But as always, thanks for watching, guys. Will out.